make a video, ho ho ho, make a video. Okie dokie, Waluigi has requested that I make a Waluigi. And so if you get the models from the games that are out there, they are super low poly, as you can tell. Now that may not be a problem if you want a low poly model, and it actually makes it easy to potentially make it into a papercraft. So I might make a papercraft Waluigi. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Well, I might make a papercraft and then make a smoothed out version, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll leave it low poly and 3D print it. The only issue is his mustache is going to be needing to be thickened up, or it is not going to print. So let's get to it. I was going to time lapse it, but my camera just bounces all around on my shaky printer, so it looks horrible. And there it is. Okay, I swore I shot some film, but I lost it. There he was. He was way smaller than I anticipated. He was supposed to be the same size as Sonic here, but I had the scale wrong. And what happened was, is I was starting to do the paper part, because I was going to lay the paper textures right on top of him. And when I went back to the model, I got distracted and I must have messed up the scale. So as you can see, his eyes would have been able to, they're just off. I think there's about a 20% scale at least problem here. So word to the wise, do it all at one time, and maybe you'd actually do it right. So Waluigi, he could be painted, and I did a low poly and printed it as quick as I could in a T-pose. But that's how the model was. From the same place, the model resource is King Dice, and that is what I printed next. Okay, so you can't have Cupman, sorry. Let's start that over. Okay, so you can't have Cuphead without a boss from Cuphead and Mugman. So we made King Trap. Right? King Trap. Or is it Spring Dice? No! King Dice! That's who we made. Okay, put his head on there. His head. I just painted it and I'm getting paint all over my fingers. I'm gonna make his head so it snaps on there better. What? Come on, man! Alright. Oh, you know, it worked earlier. So now I bring it over here and it doesn't stay on. Gosh. Yeah, that's horrible. All right, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. Okay, there we go. I just put a little bit of something in his head there to hold it better. Colors are not perfect. I didn't have really the paints that I needed, and I printed it in that cheap blue filament that I was trying to get rid of. So I didn't really paint all that. But and the 6 on the back of the dice didn't come out very good because it was laying on the platform. I would do that different. I actually was going to make it that his head was, see, it's completely hollow pretty much. I was going to make it that it opened up on one side, and I was going to stick a bullet in there. But I could still do that, I guess. It's a little hard now. I'd have to reprint it or cut off the back. But there's King Dice. It's not polymer clay. It's not beautiful like all the polymer clay guys do. But you know what? I didn't make it sit on a shelf and to make money on a YouTube video. I made it to play with! Yay! So here's my King Dice. And I'm going to touch his head a little bit better before I start really making, letting my 5-year-old play with him. Oh, he can play with him if he wants to. Oops! But his head keeps coming off! Okay, well, I didn't intend for that to... Actually, the model, obviously, the head was part of it, and I just printed it separate. But... Okay, guys, this is going to be just filler. You'll get the joke in a second. At themodelsresource.com is where I got King Dice, and it was made by somebody by the name of Filler. Yeah, so give credit where credit's due, and Filler gets credit, all credit for this model. To 3D print it, I brought it into Blender, and I put a little bit of rigging in it so he wasn't totally T-posed, and posed him just a little bit so I could lay him flat on his back and I wouldn't need as much support to print him. And that's about it. So let's go send it over to the printer. Now I lost some of the video footage And blue, blue, blue. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But anyway, like I care. Yeah, we're gonna try to print King Dice's head here. It's totally hollow. Ought to be interesting if that works. And I wish I could time lapse it, but I have no way to get this camera. This camera's huge and heavy, and as you can see, this thing vibrates like crazy. So I had a nicer mount made at one point in time and a lighter camera, but that camera no longer works. And I'm waiting for my action camera that I could mount on here. Been waiting for 2 months. Let's hope I get it this next week. Okay, now we got to the infill on the top layers here, so hopefully I got enough to start binding and allowing his face to be printed on top here. Ought to be interesting. Always is. That's how I save material, being, well, without having to piece it all together. If I pieced it together, I could save even more. I could just print that top piece flat and then glue it in, but I wanted to try this again. Always trying new things. Oh, his teeth, yuck. This is where I need a part cooling fan. Yeah, I'm too lazy to put the part cooling fan back on. And of course my y-axis is wavy again. I need to tighten everything up. Probably printing this too fast and too hot. But it's freezing in here again. We had a little warm weather and now it's cold! So it's hard to print when the weather keeps changing so much and there's no heat in this area. Alright, I just wanted to show you guys after 4 or so years of printing non-stop with this thing, those bearings in there are pretty much loose. Up here, this is really my extruder. It's quite wobbly, and it's mostly this one bearing over here. You can really see how much play there is in that one. I mean, this is not top of the line printer. It was a kit, and I don't think the company's in business anymore. But I mean, it was a good starter printer, and it was good learning how to build it and stuff. I should, if I could have the time to build a new one from a kit, it'd probably be a good idea. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to. Well, the kits nowadays are a lot less involved. Most of them, I think, come half assembled, at least from what I see. What a kit is considered. This thing was totally nothing but nuts and bolts and little pieces. So, yeah, I'm dreaming of getting a new printer. I'm dreaming. You get the idea? Alrighty. Back to my real job. Full disclosure, I have not played Cuphead, and I really need to get it so I can play it. But my son watches all the videos of everybody else playing it, and that is why he wants these models. But you know, whatever.